Apparently in Michigan, you remember Michigan. That's where that was one of Mitt Romney's home states, the one where his father was a governor and a chairman of a large automobile factory. You know, where this hardscrabble kid, Mitt Romney, learned to pull himself up by his bootstraps, which were already conveniently sort of draping on his shoulders. Well, apparently, there's going to be a lawsuit filed in Michigan by the Libertarian Party alleging that the Republican Secretary of State is working to keep Gary Johnson off the ballot. Now, Gary Johnson has some positions that I certainly can agree with. Decriminalize drugs. Less wars. Marriage equality. Pro-choice. I'm not so excited at the prospect of him attempting to slash things like Social Security and Medicare and government services. But he does want to slash some defense spending. But apparently, Secretary of State told the Libertarian Party last month that Johnson filed his paperwork withdrawing from the presidential primary back in November 3 minutes too late. He did it at 4:03 p.m. instead of 4 p.m. and thus fell prey to the state's sore loser law, which bars candidates who lose in a party primary from switching to another party to run in the general election. This law was passed back in 1955, according to the blog Ballot Access News, a time when Michigan did not have a presidential primary. In 1980, John Anderson formed the Anderson Coalition Party within Michigan, and his name was printed on that party's presidential nomination in 1980, even though Anderson had run in the Michigan Republican primary on May 20. Thus, a precedent was set that this law does not apply to presidential primary candidates. And it's quite obvious why the Republican Secretary of State is doing it, because, well, they're afraid that Mitt Romney is going to lose votes to Gary Johnson. So the Republicans have done their best to squelch Ron Paul's run in the Republican primary, and now they're doing their best to keep Gary Johnson off the ballot in Michigan. Take it for what it's worth.